How about a post-week one trade, guys? Tank Bigsby wakes up and goes from Jacksonville to the Super Bowl champion Philadelphia Eagles right here. This is from Mike Garafolo. The Eagles trade for Tank Bigsby is in part due to a need for another kick returner, sources say. He'll be in the mix for that role with Will Shipley, who had one return against the Cowboys. He's dealing with a rib injury. Garafolo also followed up just on how important the kick return is being viewed right now by teams with the change in rules. But Tank Bigsby, you drink for free.
Yeah, I mean,
nothing against Jacksonville, but
no, right? But you wake up, you know, in Jackson, you go to bed thinking you remember the Jacksonville Jaguars, and you know you're trying to get out of the cellar of the AFC South, and you wind up like, you know. Right, aren't they? I mean, I know they won, but like, come on. And
I think the Jags will be all right this year.
Yeah,
I picked them to win the division.
Did you
but
really?
yeah, I did.
Whatever.
But
they're going to Super Bowl, going to a team that won the Super Bowl two of the, you know,
that's pretty good
Super Bowl
feeling.
2 of the last 3 years, and you know, it's defending Super Bowl champions. Just saying, no disrespect to Jacksonville. Look, you guys know I like Jacksonville's offense this year. I'm just not convinced on the defense.
Okay. But for Tank Bigsby, who is clearly the odd man out, this is a great opportunity.
And see, I actually disagree.
Not in fantasy, but I'm talking about playing football.
Oh yeah, I mean
he's not even a thought in Jacksonville. At least he has a role with the Eagles.
Right, but I mean fantasy-wise, I actually think if you have Tank Bigsby, this is a big loss because
trade him to
where you drafted him like, you know, as a top 40 running back with the idea that like he might be the guy in Jacksonville. He was somebody who was running with the ones in practice during preseason. ETN, of course, got the run with the ones in the actual preseason games, but still, like, there was a hope that Bigsby would at least be half of a committee in what we think is going to be a pretty good offense. And now he is basically an insurance back if you have Saquon Barkley. If something were to happen to Saquon Barkley, maybe it's Shipley, maybe it's Bigsby, maybe it's a committee. So he takes a massive hit from fantasy value because there was a scenario there where Bigsby was half of what we think is a productive backfield. The big winner here is Travis Etienne, who, you know, wherever you got Travis Etienne, that's a bargain. This is a guy that was going as a top 15 running back a year ago, and just because of the injuries and Bigsby taking over somewhat, he dropped in drafts because of the uncertainty around his role. But again, we think this Jaguars offense is ultimately going to be very good, and he's clearly the guy. He looked to be the guy again, right? I mean, he had that speed and that burst. And also Bashal Tutin, he's not 100% rostered. He's rostered in a lot of leagues, but if Bashal Tutin is out there, uptick for him because now you expect him to have more of a role. And obviously, if anything were to happen to ETN, Tutin would be pretty interesting here. By the way, there was a LaKent Allen sighting as well. Syracuse's own LaKent Allen got in
pass
the
catcher.
mix.
Yeah, pass catching back.
Would you try and sell high on ETN?
I just don't ever have confidence in him staying healthy anymore. That's always the issue. We get these flashes and we're like, oh, great, ETN's back.
I wonder if this is the pinnacle of the ETN. He's coming off an amazing game. Now he's like RB1 workload. And they got the Bengals this week too, so maybe you wait one more week. But then schedule gets a lot tougher for Jacksonville after this. And I just worry that it doesn't usually work out for Travis Etienne.
Julio, think you are Tutin upside here or more of an indicator of confidence in ETN? I think
both.
I think both. Right. It speaks volumes that if something happened to ETN, they trust Tutin to help.
And LaKent Allen, by the way. I mean, like he's going to have like a pass catching role. I do think in deeper PPR leagues, if you're like, that's a guy that should be on your radar as well, just because he may carve out a role. But the fact that he got a couple of snaps, he got like, I think 2 targets or something like that. Like,
that's his skill set.
Right, exactly. Like, I always liked him at Syracuse. So anyway, I think it's about that. I think it's trying to free up some its confidence in Tutin and Allen, and obviously in ETN.